Anthea Turner, 62, who is best known for her work on Blue Peter and GMTV in the early 1990s, explained that she found the best way to cope with her erratic menopause symptoms was to write it all down, giving a reason to businessman ex-husband Grant Bovee, 61, why she was a sweaty, moaning wife. But little to her knowledge, Grant had already shown interest in interior designer, Zoe DeMallet-Morgan. Speaking honestly about her ordeal with menopause on the Postcards from Midlife podcast, Anthea said that her work commitments had made it hard for her to have a proper conversation with her husband of 12 years Grant, leading her to believe a letter was her only hope. Trying to explain her experience on paper, the former Blue Peter host said at first she herself didn't understand what was happening to her, and she welcomed a more recent and open debate about the menopause. "I hadn't a clue what was going on. We need to talk about it, it's a horrible time," she said. "You just all of a sudden don't feel yourself. And I know that sounds such a pathetic thing to say, oh, I don't feel myself, but you really don't. You feel like somebody's invaded your body." Going on to explain some of the specific symptoms she experienced, Anthea added, "All your markers are all out by a few degrees. I got spots on my back and I was sweating. I felt my confidence was going. I was getting brain fog, I was questioning myself. You want to turn to the person who's the most important in your life, your husband, and I couldn't. It'd be going backwards and forwards to Toronto at the time because I was doing a program out there." Giving a glimpse into her reaction to Grant's affair, Anthea added, "But, of course, what I didn't realize is at the time he was going through his own little menopause, and had obviously taken up with a very exciting in his life 24-year-old. Sick, so a sweaty, moaning wife was just like the last thing he wanted. And I wrote this little letter saying, you know, please understand that. I then went reading up about it and found out a lot more, and I tried to explain. I thought he'll write it all down and I wrote it all down," she said. Express.co.uk have asked Grant Bovee for comment. Having first met in 1998, after leaving their respective partners, Grant and Anthea married in the year 2000. After briefly splitting up in 2012, the pair reconciled before separating for good in 2013. They were then divorced in 2015 on the grounds of his adultery. The Mail Online reported that Anthea found out about her husband's affair with Zoe, who is 28 years younger than Grant, after forgiving him for an indiscretion with another woman. At the time, Anthea found herself alone at Christmas, which prompted her to go on a ski resort-based TV show, The Jump. Just days after she had returned from her own skiing holiday between Christmas and New Year, Anthea said that she ran away from the possibility of spending Christmas alone. I ran away to the jump. The universe put that in my lap. I was facing my first Christmas on my own, she said. Christmas is great if everything else is lovely in your life, and if it's not, Christmas is a horror, an absolute horror. Since her divorce, Anthea has found romance again with businessman Mark Armstrong, 56. Grant, who appeared on Celebrity Big Brother, previously addressed his relationship with Anthea back in 2016, saying, "You probably do think I'm a love rat. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. If I could turn back the clock and change things, I would. I can't deny my history. Maybe I deserve love rat. She doesn't deserve what happened to her. She has had to put up with a huge amount.